programme this week. One of Britain's greatest skiers announces his retirement. Mayrhofen goes crazy for snowbombing. We find out how some of you have been fighting the credit crunch. Hi and welcome to this week's Snowcast. Well Abby, we had some reporters out in the Alps this week from Meribel, Mayrhofen and of course reporting in Lax on the Brits.
And it seems that our reporters were in the right place at just the right time because it was a very eventful week for British ski racing. Ski Club sponsored racer Ed Drake won joint first in the 2009 British Championship, which rounded off a great season for Ed, and he told us about some of his season highlights.
World Champs definitely major highlight. It's just absolutely amazing sort of atmosphere and biggest stage I've been in. Wengen, that was cool. Like to do that downhill, you watch on TV every year. It's like the most one you look forward to watching the best. And it's just these big jumps, so long, and to get that done, it's just like I've been dreaming about doing it for years.
And in a surprise announcement, Britain's most successful alpine skier Alan Baxter said he was retiring from international ski racing.
Alan based his decision to retire on a recurring back injury, but he has said that he's really looking forward to new ventures.
Plans for the future are a bit sort of harebrained at the moment. I've started a company called Alan Baxter Sports, and in that company there'll be lots of different branches. I'm going to approach companies and see if they want to do some skiing with me. Sort of sporting consultant kind of thing. I've joined a model agency, and I'm also going to give tracks like a little bash.
In an emotional last race at the British Land Championships, Alan skied the course in a kilt. As he crossed the finishing line, he was met by a guard of honour from the British Alpine team, and fellow Scot Finlay Mickle was playing bagpipes.
I've watched Alan ski ever since the early days in Cairngorm, and it's been a long, illustrious career, and he's really shown to us younger guys that it can be done. He's been an inspiration to all of British skiing. I've always looked up to him. He's been a hero of mine for many years, and it's a decision that comes to us all. It's a tough decision, but we respect him for his passion to the sport, and he'll always be an ambassador of British skiing.
So we've got a full report on Alan's retirement and full action from the racing last week on the Ski Club website.
Now, each spring, the population of the pretty Austrian resort of Mayrhofen goes from less than 4,000 to nearly 10,000. The reason is snowbombing, now celebrating its 10th birthday, which attracts punters from all over Europe to come and spend 5 days tearing up the snow and their evenings dancing to a mixture of big-name acts and fresh new bands and DJs.
It's the best festival I've ever been to.
It's like anything I've never done before. Four words.
One word. It is the bomb. That's my word!
I can't believe I missed it this year. I'm definitely going to go next year.
I know, it does look quite good, doesn't it? Although, how much snowboarding would you actually get done?
Not much, I guess, but...
That's half the fun. Right, onto the snow. Kicking off as usual in Austria, and well, it's been a very warm and sunny spring-like week. Definitely get your sun cream on in Austria this week. The best skiing is obviously going to be on the upper slopes. St Anton still has a really brilliant snow base, so it's a good place to head to.
Over in France, the theme is warm and sunny. Down in Morzine, there's actually no snow now in the village, but there is good skiing to be had higher up on the mountains. And Casseret in the French Pyrenees received 20 centimetres of snow on Monday, so actually it could be good skiing over there.
That's not too bad, is it? Switzerland, again, similar conditions, spring skiing all over the place. Wengen is still looking pretty good. Our ski club rep there has said that despite the warm weather, the piste are holding up well due to excellent grooming overnight.
Over in Italy, similar story really, spring-like conditions. The best skiing obviously is at the higher resorts. The ski area in Cervinia is still fully open, as is the link over to Zermatt at the moment, but head up in the afternoons up to the Plateau Rosa for better skiing.
Cool. Andorra, light dusting of snow this week, but it still hasn't really changed much. It's still very much spring conditions. As with everywhere else, the deep snow base that's formed this season means that the skiing is still great.
Excellent. There's been fresh snow this week in Hemsedal, Lillehammer and Voss in Norway, and Åre and Salin in Sweden, so up in Scandinavia it's looking pretty good.
And in Germany, well, sunny and mild spring skiing.
And over in Bulgaria, there's spring snow conditions everywhere. Borovets and Pamparova reported a decrease in their snow depths, Sun and clouds forecast over the weekend, but there's a possibility of snow next week.
Ooh, that would be good. Scotland paints a slightly different picture. We've had fresh snow in the UK this week, which is fantastic news. In Cairngorm, it looks really good at the moment, and at Nevis they've had some light snow as well. Glencoe will be open over the Easter weekend, but Glenshee and Lect have now closed for the season.
That's good news for UK skiers. Also good news over in the States, where Telluride has actually reopened 2 lifts after a bit of an early initial closure. And the resorts on the East Coast are all preparing for their final weekend of the season, with my favourite resort, Smuggler's Notch, closing on Sunday.
Why is it your favourite resort?
I quite like the name.
Okay. Canada has great spring skiing, especially in British Columbia. And if you head to the East Coast, they have finally had some more snow. They've had 15 centimetres in Tremblant, which is fantastic. And their temperatures are below freezing on the East Coast. So still loads of good skiing to be had. Exactly,
yeah. So Easter time, coming up to Easter, and the skiing is looking really, really good pretty much everywhere at the moment. So coming up on Ski TV this week, finally, master your moguls with some top tips from former bumps champion Pat Sharples.
No better man, therefore, to talk to about bumps, equipment and the task in general.
Now, we're talking to a bit of an expert here in yourself, having been captain of the British team in moguls for some time. What about a few tips for someone getting into bumps for the first time?
Well, a lot of people ask me how you get to do bumps good, and the best way of doing it is just carry on doing it over and over again. It just takes time. It's like working on one run, do it 100 times over, and by the 100th time you might have got a bit better.
Now, before we go, the credit crunch hasn't made things easy for skiers this season, but it hasn't stopped you from getting your snow fix.
We want to find out how some of you have been saving your pennies on the slopes this year.
This one, not very well. My dodgy mate over there booked everything and we just got told to hand a lot of cash over.
Perhaps you skimp a little bit on your lunch. You eat more breakfast. And to build up the calories first thing in the morning and then save a little bit at lunchtime.
We might go back to the chalet at lunchtime and make a sandwich and some soup probably rather than eating out.
This season is particularly bad
Just
for obvious reasons because of the pound-euro exchange anyways.
We're going to book back in December because there were some big discounts when they were worried that nobody would come. So we held off booking a little bit longer, hoping discounts would get more.
Yeah, I remember last year I was having lunch, 2 hours lunch, a wine, but now it's like a chocolate bar and a wine.
So that's it. If you're not already a Ski TV subscriber, then check out our free trial at the moment over the Easter bank holiday weekend. You can find out all the details on skiclub.co.uk.
Have a great Easter and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.